A very good morning to you, Sakina, and to our viewers at home. Welcome to the last day of the Africa Free Continental Trade Areas Business Forum here in Cape Town. This is where, for the past 2 days, we've seen a marathon of engagements here on the ground in terms of how the economies of the African continent can actually work and move to help those on the ground. So delegates, officials have already started arriving as we speak right now, looking forward, of course, to seal those trade deals and recap on the past 2 days and how things have really unfolded. So yesterday, we saw under the spotlight being the hub, this being the AfCFTA hub that has been set up to just ensure that there's a network in between all of those companies, small to medium enterprises, that they engage and work together with governments on the African continent just to ensure that there is a free flow, and just parallel sessions as well are taking place yesterday around the women, the role of women, and how women can actually come into the spotlight and support and help build the economies on the African continent, because we know very well that for the longest of time, women have been left behind where opportunities like these are concerned. But also yesterday under the spotlight being the agro processing, and that platform of agro processing, and how that sector has been doing over time in ensuring that the economies on the African continent get the best out of that sector. And also under the spotlight being the issue of industrialization. They've been punting industrialization and saying that for the countries to really develop proper and for the economies to really serve their people on the ground, we need to start seeing the industrialization take shape. But I'm going to bring into the conversation now Dr. Wilmot Allen. He's coming through. Of course, this is my guest this morning to kick us off. He's going to give us an experience of how the Americans have been faring in terms of where we are right now and the role that you're playing here. Welcome to the SABC.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. First, let me say this is an outstanding event. We have seen not only a rallying of interests and stakeholders, capital and resources from within the African continent, but also international stakeholders are saying, yes, this is the right thing for Africa and the time is now. And as an American, I'm based in Nairobi, but I'm from America, and I run a company called Venture Lify Africa. And we are an implementation partner to USAID's Africa Trade and Investment Program to train AGOA, which is Africa Growth and Opportunity Advisors across the continent and across the U.S. to better facilitate U.S.-Africa trade. AGOA is the Africa Growth and Opportunity Act, established by an act of Congress in 2000. The reason why we're here is we're saying, as representative of the American people, that we are behind you, we stand with Africa, and we want to let the AFCA network know. The Secretary General, we met with his staff to say that AGOA is an instrument, a trade policy that actually can support inter-Africa trade. Let me give you an example. Right now, we currently help a company that's based in South Africa called Superringa export to the U.S. And they take the superfood, which you know about, moringa, and they, yes, supply from South Africa, but also from Zambia. So that's inter-Africa trade happening to support exports to the U.S. So you have the makings of a circular economy with international supply chains to benefit the African people. So we're excited about doing more of that. Not only trade, but mobilizing investment, mobilizing the rationalization of better logistic strategies. And most of all, what I would say is what we're adding to the conversation is that in the U.S., you have about 47 million people who are of African descent historically, and contemporary immigrants who combine to make up the African diaspora, who have a buying power nominally of trillions of dollars, which is as large or almost as large as the economic value being forecasted by this largest free trade area, Africa Continental Free Trade Area, within the continent. So that's an enormous opportunity. And we want to make sure that the diaspora know about Africa as we're educating them about AGOA, that they're able to get plugged in. And so we hope that we can be a facilitator of that effort, because this is a great opportunity, not just for companies, but as you know, the multiplier effect is to empower women and to make sure youth have greater career opportunities as well.
Dr. Wilmot Allen, thank you very much for your time. Let's leave it here for now. Of course, it's coming through from Venture Lify, the founder of Venture Lify, and they are, of course, playing a role here. Yesterday, as well, Sakina, we saw the United Nations coming through with their delegation here to try by all means to, play a role here. So really, it's all hands on deck when you look at it with the various role players. But today, of course, we're expecting to see Deputy President Paul Mashatile take to the podium to close this ceremony here today, and we'll also be taking stock of those trade, deals and trade conversations, how things are faring in this regard, in solidifying and ensuring that at least there's an acceleration where this Africa Free Continental Trade Area is concerned. Let's leave it here for now, but then let's take a break, and when we come back, the program will continue on your end.